Stay the fuck out of nigga lane. Hey, don't swear, don't swear, hey, don't swear. Bush lane.
All right. Here we go. Here we go. No games, just business podcast, episode 21. I am Darius. I'm here with my man Don. What's up, Don? How you feeling?
I'm
How you
good,
been?
man. I'm good. I cannot complain. We two man weaving it. Shout out to Jimmy. Uh,
Definitely.
hope he be back soon. But hey, we gonna hold y'all down with some entertainment today. You know, I'm always coming with some crazy stuff to say, and we're gonna see what Darius got to say today.
I know. Definitely shout out Jimmy, man. I think honestly, Don. I think he was running from us. From
Hey,
that Tom Brady.
mm, mm,
We gonna have to we gonna
hey,
have to get him next time we get up on
hey,
here, man.
cause I surely started to hit the chat and be like, "Ooh, Brady ain't looking like the goat tonight either." But hey, I let him live. I said, you know what? I ain't gonna say nothing because he did pick the Cowboys, so
He did. He did.
I can't even say too much about it. But all I know is Brady was missing passes left and right. I wouldn't want him if I was a team, but hey,
He was definitely missing Chris Godwin out there and Russell Gage. He missed Russell Gage quite a few times,
yes.
man.
And him and Mike Evans was not looking like they was on the same page. And how
Exactly.
about that bad interception he threw in the back of the end zone?
Oh.
Where was he throwing to? That's what I want to know. But hey, let me digress because the Brady defender is not here, so it's gonna sound like we just piling on Brady.
Yeah, we'll save the Brady talk for when Jimmy come back, man.
I will say this: he might as well go ahead and retire. Though I will say that. I
Hey,
mean,
I wouldn't put it past him, but when we get the fact and cap,
hmm.
one of my predictions may be coming true.
Hey, as long as this Brady gonna retire, then yeah, we on the same page.
I don't know, man. You can never count that man out. He's ready for everything.
I'm counting that man out. He ain't that no more. He ain't. It comes a time where all the greats that we've seen, they aren't able to do the same heroics they was doing at like their younger ages or when they was in their prime. Bro, 45. He gonna be 46 probably by the next football season. What we gonna do with a 46-year-old washed up quarterback?
Yeah.
I tell and what I told y'all last week. He keep on, he gonna end up diminishing his legacy like how Russell Wilson doing right now.
Ooh. Ooh, you got to give Russell another year. I told you the Broncos
Hey,
is going to be here next year. Just got to
Darius,
give him
when
a
I
year.
when I asked you what the Broncos was gonna be, you said they probably only gonna win 5 or 6 games.
No,
That
no,
ain't
no, no,
it.
no, 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 no. I said they'll be right on the cusp of missing the playoffs, like around that to. I give them 7 to 8 wins next year. I'm predicting seven. I'm predicting seven, and we don't know because we still got a whole off season. We don't know what kind of moves they're gonna make. We I won't be surprised if they go out and try to get another first round draft pick.
The Broncos aren't that though. Like I get it, they have a good defense, yeah, but their offensive line was shaky. I will give him this. When they fired Hackett, their offense looked a lot better. I'll give them that. But at the same time, you still have to factor in they are in the AFC, and you could say this about say Baltimore did lose Lamar. You still have multiple teams that was right there on the cusp of the playoffs that I still would take over the Broncos.
Yeah, yeah, I could definitely agree. I mean, it's going to be tough for a lot of these guys, and we're going to actually get into one of these teams here. But before we start, what we got, Don?
I just want to ask everybody to go ahead and like, subscribe, comment, show some fan love. You can leave some comments, ask us some questions, just support anything. We don't matter. Just engagement.
Definitely, definitely. So we got on the agenda today. We're going to talk about the LA Chargers. What are they looking like in their future? Did they lose that game, or did the Jags really win that game? And then we're gonna break down the Lamar Jackson. Mike Vick had a little comment about Lamar. Should he have played? Shouldn't he have? Is he hurt? Is he just waiting for his contract? What is going on with Lamar Jackson? Then we're going to get into them Vikings. Man, oh man. I think we've been saying it for a couple of weeks now, Don. The Vikings is that team to get upset in round one.
Hey, I say this before you continue. I got a when factor cap come around. There's some teams out here that should be on upset alert.
Oh man, I can't wait for Factor Cap. And then after the Vikings, we got the Bengals or the Bills. Which one of these two powerhouse teams? Which one had the most ugliest win? Because both of them was definitely ugly, but we're gonna choose on which one was the ugliest. And then we're gonna get into some fact or cap. Cap it up or some facts. Let's get it. So we're gonna start off with them LA Chargers. Man, oh man. Honestly, yo, they lost that game, man. They lost that game. Um, 27-0 comeback. That's
Mm,
come on now.
mm,
27-0 comeback with that talent on that team.
mm.
27-0.
Both sides of the ball.
Both sides. I mean, Trevor, I gotta highlight Trevor Lawrence, man.
Do you?
I do. I gotta give him. I gotta give him some praise here. He did throw 4 interceptions. Okay,
I was about to just say that. Let's say that real quick. I seen somebody say, how can you praise somebody that started the fire for putting out the fire?
you know
I
what?
I
Yeah,
can't praise Trevor Lawrence.
I get that. I get that. But you know why I praise him? Because he's a young quarterback that was very poised. He didn't let that moment get to him. He it's like that cornerback effect, right? When you give up a touchdown, you gotta line back up. No matter what, you know you play in the toughest position in football. You got to get right back out there, let that last play go. We know the Chargers are what they are. This team overall, all time, is 12-19 in the playoffs. So I
Mm,
mean that right there shows you what the Chargers really are, right? They don't win big games, right? And for Trevor to lead and command that offense, the way he commanded that offense back into this game was just amazing. The Chargers let this game go. You had two wide open touchdowns.
mm.
Two. I was like, Asante Samuel. I mean, he played very well. He had what, 2 picks or 3 picks?
Three, three,
3 picks.
all in the
But
first half.
he gave that touchdown up to Marvin Jones. Okay, they finally got him. And then I think it was Zay Jones who was wide open. Wide open. There was no one around him. What is the defense doing? Come on now. Joey Bosa's blowing up at the ref. I mean, Mike Williams didn't even play, so that that takes away your deep threat. So you're keying on Keenan Allen all game, so he can't really get his targets. Man, oh man, this Jaguars team held Herbert 9 for 20 in the second half. 9 for 20 on his completions. This that Chargers team let this game go. They let it go, and it didn't surprise me. It didn't surprise me at all. I think we all kind of figured the Jaguars is going to come back in this game. Like I feel like everyone knew that was going to happen.
Um, I say this. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know, well, I guess it's my I ain't gonna say my biasness because I wanted the Chargers to win to go against Patrick Mahomes because I felt like they probably had a better chance of beating the Chiefs than the Jags. But as it is, I didn't give the Jags no type of chance when it went down 27-0. I'm not gonna lie to you. I did not think the Chargers was gonna charger it this badly, to be honest with you. I
Wow.
mean, I, I, I my thing is, yes, the Chargers blew it, but I'm hearing a whole bunch of Brandon Staley this, Brandon Staley that, bro. Brandon Staley, yes, he had his faults in the game also, but in my opinion, I know y'all don't view it this way. Justin Herbert is a top 4 quarterback. What the hell was Justin Herbert out there doing that he couldn't at least manage more? They only scored 3 points in the second half. what we gonna do with that? Like, all you had to do was just continue. Hell, even if you were just running the ball, running out the clock, you probably would have still got out there with a victory. And so I just can't. I can't just all go, oh, Brandon Staley needs to be fired or he's the issue why they lost. Because like you said, Bosa, he was on the field slamming helmets, getting unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. Granted, I will say this: the ref kind of seemed like he went back to Bosa to try to. I ain't gonna say instigate, but
Yeah, for sure.
like
Because Bosa
bro had
was
already,
walking away.
yeah, bro had
He,
already
he
walked.
he he was he was already pissed off. I mean, don't get me wrong. He
Exactly.
was being held on that play.
He was getting held a lot that
Yeah.
night. So I give him that. But at the same time, like you see guys all the time, they go on the side of the on once they get to the sideline, that's when they start slamming their helmet and stuff. You gotta have a little bit more poise not to do that on the field and cost your team, because after that, the Jags went for two. That might have been the deciding factor of the game right there, because they probably was gonna go for one. And so my whole thing is, I feel like there's a lot of people that deserve blame. Herbert, Staley. You see, they fired Joe Lombardi and Shane Day today also. So I just feel like, yes, the Chargers charged it, but at the same time, Staley, I want to kind of give him a pass, because I mean he got this team to the playoffs. Really, honestly, they should have made the playoffs last year also if he didn't do some dumb stuff like call a timeout also, but still they was going to be able to make the playoffs also. So I don't think he's like a top coach, but I feel like he's a good enough coach that will get your team to the playoffs. And you never know what could happen, because you do have Justin Herbert and you also do have some talent around him. So I just feel like we all knew the Chargers was going to charger it some way. I just didn't believe it was going to be against the Jags down 27 to
Can,
0.
can we agree that, like, it doesn't surprise you that the Chargers do that? The unfortunately, like the Atlanta Falcons. You know what? Lately, this year, this year was totally different. Like our first year with Arthur Smith, it was like that. I'm talking about Arthur Smith and Matt Ryan, because we still
Hmm.
had players from that regime still on that roster, right? So it was like we
Hmm.
always got put back into our old ways. This year was a little different for them. So who knows? The Falcons could probably turn that around. But we could say that for the Chargers. We could say that for the Vikings, right? We could say that, I don't know, the Raiders kind of showed that this year.
Yeah.
Like those are three teams that are just like, I'm not surprised that happened,
The
right?
Browns. I'm not
Yeah,
surprised
the
nothing good
Browns.
happened. Yeah,
Like those teams are just liable to fuck something up.
I agree. I agree. I just say this, like the Chargers have a good foundation. Like they have the players. It's just I don't know, just poor management of the game. I'd say that. Like, and I feel like, with time you become more smarter. I think Staley's gonna come back next year and be more smarter. Like last year, people was on his ass about how many times he was going for on fourth down. This year, it seemed like he kind of tamed that a little bit. He wasn't doing it as egregious as he was last year. So I feel like next year he's gonna probably make better decisions when it comes to certain stuff. So we'll see.
Yeah, yeah, you definitely hit it on the money with a couple of things, especially Brandon Staley. I thought Sean Payton was going to go there, but that
See.
that would have required Brandon Staley to get fired. Obviously, they fired the OC and their quarterback coach. Um, with that being said, obviously it looks like they're going to be keeping Staley, but I can say
Let me ask you
I,
this right quick. What's the difference between Sean Payton and Mike McCarthy?
Sean Payton's a better play caller.
Mm, okay, I can give you that. But to be honest with you, their playoff record is very similar. Like very. And I'm like, I get it.
I mean,
Sean
the
Payton,
Saints, was it the Saints did get, was it the Saints or the Rams that got robbed
the
from that?
Saints.
The Saints got robbed. That was a robbery right there.
I agree. I
I
agree with
mean, down the stretch, Sean Payton, I mean, offensively, he really didn't have the weapons to compete. I mean, he had Drew Brees, he had Alvin Kamara, but on the
Hell,
outside,
He had Mike Thomas. Mike
Mike
Thomas
Thomas,
was
Mike
a problem.
Thomas, Mike, we can't forget that Mike Thomas has been really hurt for the last three
No, no,
years.
but I'm saying when Breeze was there, he was healthy.
Brees last year he wasn't healthy.
Who else they had out there?
Um, I want to say
Eh,
Marcus Callaway.
that sounds like somebody that was there. That was 3 years ago. I don't know.
Yeah,
Well,
three. We're
I got
talking
a
3 years
homeboy that's
ago.
a Saints fan. That's more of a better question for him. But I'm just saying, like, I I heard somebody say, "What is the difference between the two?" And I went and looked at their records and stuff, and I was just like, there really isn't much of a difference. It's more so of people throw smut on McCarthy's name, and granted, he has his downfalls, but then they act like Sean Payton is this shiny object out here that like he's just winning every playoff game he gets to, and that's not the case.
I think it's again. I think it's that offensive guru, offensive mind, able to put a team together, build a competitive roster, also able to develop players. You know, I mean, Jameis didn't play bad with him. I mean,
I agree with that.
I think Jameis was undefeated with Sean Payton as the coach when
I
Drew
agree with
Brees
that.
were hurt.
I do agree with that one.
So
Yeah, yes, he can do more with less. I will say that, but at the same time, McCarthy did just have what his name was Cooper Rush. Wasn't he undefeated for a little while at the beginning of
yeah,
this year?
Cooper definitely played well. Cooper definitely
So
played well.
I just I get it. He's the hot name on the circuit right now, but I mean honestly, I think there's some probably OCs out here that's probably would be a better candidate than Sean Payton. And I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a good coach, but I mean, like you said, like last week or the week before, Ben Johnson, even though he just said he's gonna stay with Detroit, the D coordinator for the Broncos. There's a couple of people out here that I'm
You got the D coordinator for the
49ers.
49ers. Yep.
Yeah, like
You
this
got
this people out here. D coordinator for the Eagles. Like there's some people out here that you could really look at and be like, hey, they might have the foundation to actually build some type of success out here. So I'm not as high on Sean Payton as everybody else. And if I was Chargers, I wouldn't I wouldn't give up all the assets that you would have to give up to get Sean Payton. Like
yeah.
you're gonna have to give up first round picks, a couple more picks, and then still pay this man. And it said that he wanted some type of power in the organization. Like hell no.
Yeah. Yeah. It's actually it might hurt a team for giving up that much power, and that might, when I get to the fact the cap, this team that I'm gonna throw out there, I think they ran. Well, actually, they did run into that situation before, so they may not want to get into that situation again. But back to Staley. Like you said, you got to give him some form of credit. He did get this team into the playoffs this year. They did get one win better than what they did last year. That is some form of improvement. They were still a top 15 offense, which they should have been. They should have been top 10 offense, but they were top. But they did have a lot of injuries this year,
I was
so
gonna say
give it take. Um, with that, Eckler had a outstanding year like he always does. But going forward, I mean, I feel like the Chargers is still in that situation they were in with Philip Rivers when Philip Rivers had to play Ben Roethlisberger, Peyton Manning, and Tom Brady every year in the playoffs. It's just like he can't beat those teams. For some reason, he couldn't overcome those teams, and it happened to them all the time. And I feel like Justin Herbert may fall into that same situation as far as having to play Burrow, Mahomes, and Allen every single year in the playoffs.
And don't
with
forget Trevor Lawrence.
and
Now,
Trevor Lawrence, exactly, and Trevor Lawrence. Now that he already beat him once in the playoffs, now that's going to be the headline every time they get into the playoffs. It's like, is Herbert going to overcome Trevor Lawrence today, right? But I'm also looking at this team and I'm like, when are they? When is this? Is their window? Like Keenan Allen is a top. He's a top tier receiver. No, I would say he's like. I would say he's like tier two receiver
mhm.
at this point. Um, but he's a reliable guy. But we're now starting to see like he is battling some injuries in his career at this point, right? He does have a small injury bug. We talked about the running back position. How long is Eckler going to be able to handle 300 plus touches every single year? Don't get me wrong, he is an
Mhm.
outstanding player, but how is he going to be able to sustain those hits every single year? Then we got Mike Williams. Mike Williams is bound to miss 2 to 3 games every year. It's a fact. I mean, hopefully that defense gets healthier. Hopefully JC Jackson does come back to the old JC that he was in New England, or he's just gonna show he was a system guy. But they got him in Derwin for the next at least 4 years, right?
Yeah, and Bosa's signed. I think he signed like last year, so he'll be, or the year before he'll be there. I
So
mean,
he
they got some pieces, to be honest with you. Like they still got that tackle Slater that was
yeah, they
injured.
got
Also,
they got
like
some
they
young
got
they got
pieces.
they got some young old linemen that there. They got small pieces. They do have small pieces, but I'm just saying at some point these guys are gonna start aging quickly, especially offensively.
And
Um,
Keenan Allen about what he about 30 now or
he's
31?
I think he's like 31 years old. So next year he's gonna be 32. Mike Williams is like 20. Mike Williams is like 28, 29.
Mm,
He's low key been in the league for like 5 years.
I believe it. Yeah, because he just got paid last
And then,
offseason.
and then guess what? After next year, guess who you got to pay? Austin Eckler and Justin Herbert.
I think they not well. I say this: they can negotiate a contract with Herbert this offseason. So
So, I
you never
mean,
know. I
this
mean,
this is the time to do it to be able to save you some money because once these next wave of quarterbacks come in, the quarterbacks, I think quarterbacks, I think they make too much money at to a certain extent. For them to be protected so much, they make an outstanding amount of money. We understand that they are the reasons why teams win Super Bowls, well, have Super Bowl aspirations, and why fans come watch the games. But I feel like and this is going to get into another topic in which I don't want to. But the reason why I say they make too much money is because they're able to hold teams hostage because it's just like, what are you going to do without me? So if you don't pay me, you're gonna have to find someone else to, and someone else is just gonna go out and pay me, i.e. Deshaun Watson.
only with whether Deshaun Watson situation is a little bit different. Him and the Texans wanted a divorce, so that one is a little bit different. The one that would make better comp is probably the Lamar situation right now. But I will say this.
But because of what Deshaun is being paid, Lamar has the stature as far as the awards to back up his case. Like how can I get that type of money when you guys need me?
I say, well, what I say is to the part of do quarterbacks get paid too much. I can't say they do because if you don't have a quarterback, you're not winning a Super Bowl in this day and age right now. Defenses are too good. You need somebody that can elevate the team, can go out there and make plays when there is no play to be made. That's why you got like the Mahomes, the Burrows, the Allens. When Brady was at his prime, like you got guys that can just make something out of nothing. And I mean, hell, you see some of these years, you have some of these quarterbacks that's like Jimmy G, like last year, he if he was just a little bit better quarterback and had more skill, they should have been in the Super Bowl last year and beat the Rams last year. So it pays to have a top tier type of quarterback when it all comes down to it, because you run into some of these defenses that that you never know if you can beat them with a middle tier quarterback. Like imagine have Huntley going Tyler Huntley as your main QB as your QB1 and having to go up against the 49ers defense. Are you having any like faith in that, or would you have more faith if you had like a guy like Lamar?
For sure, 100% Lamar. You know what? Now that I think about it, I I don't think they make too much money, and I don't mean to backtrack on what I said, but what I will say is that they do have an advantage over organizations. The quarterback has much more advantage over any other position, just about over each organization
But
when
I
you
think
got
that's
that guy back
justifiable.
there.
I think that's justifiable because if you're that guy, if you're that guy, you basically determine if your team is going to be a Super Bowl contender or not. Like if if you got one of those top guys, you're in any game. But then if you got like I don't want like you got a Derek Carr, a Tannehill, like I ain't too sure what's gonna happen with that right there.
Yeah, I mean Carson Wentz is making $25 million as a backup. It's just like I could use that money and get other pieces. That's what I mean by it.
But that's
So,
organizations paying the wrong guy, thinking that some of these guys are like that when they really wasn't.
and that's why I said quarterbacks have that upper advantage over just about everyone else in that organization. So, yeah, man. So you see the Chargers still being contenders continuously for the next few years.
I think they make the playoffs again next year. And I mean, I honestly, if say Lamar did leave and say he went to the NFC, that might be the only team I see falling out, and maybe bump up the Steelers because I'm a Bengals fan, but I gotta give credit where credit is due. The Steelers look hella good in that last month of football. I gotta give them the props. Or even the Jets if they get Derek Carr. It's a couple teams out there they get the Browns. You never know what if Deshaun returns back to Deshaun. You never know what could happen.
Yeah, yeah. They get the Browns get their own line healthy. They got Nick Chubb still. They definitely coming too. They definitely coming. So yeah, I definitely see them back in the playoffs next year. But it's a lot more to come. A lot more to come. And good thing we've been talking about quarterbacks because the next one we're gonna get into is Action Jackson, Lamar Jackson. So my man Mike Vick, he chilling with
Your
us, man.
man,
He
huh?
he, he
Your
chilling with
man.
us, man. He in the back here, man. He said Lamar should have put a brace on it and played. Don, man, what you think? What you think?
I,
You think
I think Mike.
first? Why do you think he didn't play? Do you think it was because of the knee, or was it because of the injury, or was it because of the contract? And if he was not hurt, do you think he should have just put a brace on it and went out there and play?
I say this. I think Mike Vick sounded absolutely stupid. Him and Sean Payton.
Sean,
How can
Sean said the same thing.
Yeah, it was him, Sean Payton, and Charles Woodson, but Charles Woodson wasn't taking it as far as them. He was just like,
Yeah,
I don't know the extent of his injury to be saying all of this. And that's my thing. Like Mike Vick, okay, you said that you played on the same thing. That's you. You
yeah,
might have you might have had already got paid or whatever the case was. Even if you didn't get paid, that's you. How you can tell another man what he should be doing with his body? That man out here trying to get astronomical numbers that ain't nobody seen, and he representing himself. I don't I don't uh um like I don't like judge Lamar for not playing because even you heard Marlon Humphreys after the game. He said we knew he wasn't going to play. His knee was swelled up the whole week.
wow,
He limping around the facility. So I don't see why there's so much conversation on Lamar. Like, yes, he's injured. Hell, even if he wasn't injured, why come back when you're trying to negotiate your contract and you're gonna go out there and possibly hurt yourself? And I get it. You want to say, oh, this team has a chance to make the Super Bowl or whatnot. I didn't think they did, but okay, honestly, They haven't set this man up for success none of the years that he's been there. So now he's supposed to go out there and try to backpack a sorry offense to try to get them past the air through the AFC, and then whoever else comes out the NFC. But nobody is saying nothing about the Ravens not helping him. So, but he's supposed to go out there still, even though he ain't got no contract, even though he might be injured, and still go out there and try to win this game for them. I don't agree with that nonsense there. And I'll tell you this: if I was Lamar, I mean, I seen the post that he posted the other day. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. It
Hey,
sounded like a goodbye post.
hey, that's what it sounded like to me. And I can tell you this right now. As a Bengals fan, I'm going to throw a party the day that man leaves out of this division. I am, and it's nobody's fault but the Ravens. The Ravens, like they said, they offered him 133 million guaranteed. That's less than Kyler Murray. How do you do that?
Yeah, that's
Like,
disrespectful.
that's what I'm saying. So I can't judge Lamar not going out there and playing for y'all when what he say you take care you take care of I can't remember exactly what he said, but basically you take care of what you value. And obviously the Ravens don't value you enough that they offering you a contract like that and thinking that you're gonna just accept it. And they went out here and paid Roquan Smith before you, somebody that ain't impacting your winning, whether they win it or not, because he just got paid that 100 mil and they still got eliminated.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't get me wrong. Don't get
No,
me
no,
wrong.
don't get me wrong. He's
Roquan
good.
is a
He's good.
difference maker on that. He elevated that defense.
I know, I do agree with that. But at the same time, is he actually changing whether they win or not? I don't think so. Not like how if you got Lamar
His
back there.
impact on that defense was big, but
I agree.
offensively they are bad. Except
Yes,
for running, they run the ball very well,
I
but
agree.
they've always been that way. That's the Raven way to play defense and to run the football. That's the Raven way. Um, many speculate whether it was him hurt, whether he was waiting for the contract. Honestly, if I'm a business, if I'm the organization, I'm being selfish. I want my guy to be out there. I want the quarterback to be out there because I want to win the game. If I'm Lamar Jackson in his current situation, I'm not playing. I have nothing to back me up if I get hurt. There's no guarantee money on my end. Why would I go out there and risk it all? I'm literally risking everything, and I'm trying to get the biggest contract in NFL history after one guy just already made the biggest contract in NFL history. I know I've already believed in myself. I put my
Mhm.
game on the line. I put my career on the line this year. And for me to miss 5 weeks and I come back, I have no solid outside weapons. No guaranteed outside weapons. Mark Andrews, yes, he is a guy. He's that guy in that offense as far as the threat. But you're gonna rely on me to run the ball 10 times a game and throw it to Mark Andrews at least 12, 13 times. No, I'm not going out there and I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Mhm.
Do I have to worry about Joe Burrow being paid? Do I have to worry about Trevor Lawrence being paid when that time comes? Do I have to worry about Justin Herbert being paid when that time comes?
They
No.
gonna take care of their quarterback.
Exactly. If you guys want me, pay me. If you truly wanted me to be here, if I'm that guy, if I'm the franchise, pay me the money that I'm looking for. And we gonna do this together. I'll go out there with a brace and I'll go out there and play for my team. But
Mhm.
right now, brother, I don't know, man. This knee not feeling too good today.
Hey, hey,
Hey,
that knee,
coach.
that knee won't feel good until I sign that contract. Hey, and I will say this. They saying that he looking for a fully guaranteed deal, even if he
Of
isn't close
course.
to, even if he doesn't get the full 230 like Deshaun got, even if he get like 200 mil, I don't think that he's going back to the Ravens. To be honest with you, so me personally, I shoot, I started looking around. Hey, Darius, you interested in Lamar Jackson
Of course,
for the
brother.
Falcons?
Send him.
Hey,
So, hey, I was told this week that Lamar Jackson would not elevate the Falcons offense. I was told this week I
If
was
Lamar Jackson go there, y'all are winning the NFC South.
that defensively we're still struggling.
It
But
don't matter even what y'all got on
if he
defense.
comes to Atlanta, people act like Kyle Pitts is just not good
Bro,
player.
y'all gonna have Kyle Pitts, Drake London. Y'all got
Drake London had
what's the
800 receiving yards with no accurate quarterback.
y'all got a couple of running backs back there that's y'all still got Cordell Patterson. Like, bro, the Falcons got some pieces and you talk about
Christian
that.
Lindstrom made an all-pro team. He was the
Mm,
highest rated guard in the NFL.
mm. Hey, and don't get me wrong, y'all got some pieces on defense. What's the guy name on the D line? The good one.
Grady,
Yeah,
Grady
got
Jarrett,
Grady, got Terrell on
and
the
he had
outside.
he had a career year. Grady had a career year this year.
Hey, all
I
I
think
say.
what's the name? Rashad Evans was like fifth or sixth in tackles this year. We still got AJ
Mhm,
Terrell. I think he can. I think he can get better. But yeah, we got some pieces there. I mean, even RG3 said it. He was like, "Yo, if I had the opportunity to sit out and not put a brace on it and not
mhm,
risk my career, I think things would have went differently." He literally said that.
mhm.
Lamar already won an MVP. Lamar already broke Vick's rushing record. I've already proved that I'm a top 10 quarterback in this league. You saw what was how the offense looked without me.
Let me ask you, you said top 10 right quick. I ain't trying to veer off on this too far. But who you taking, Lamar or Jalen Hurts? When
You know what?
healthy.
You know I get a little biased because well, it's not really biased because I'm not an Eagles fan, but I literally
Where
watched.
y'all be
Wait,
copping
wait,
for
wait,
this,
wait, wait,
man?
wait. I literally watched Jalen Hurts with more weapons elevate his game. Like he got better, and
Hold, hold on,
he's a big
hold on,
guy. He
hold
has a
on, right
big frame.
hold on. Look what you just said though. With more weapons, he elevated his game. Lamar has never had weapons beside Mark Andrews and has won an MVP. And honestly, he gets
He said
better.
Marquise Brown, but that's it. But
Is
Marquise
he?
Brown isn't AJ Brown.
And he damn sure ain't Devonta Smith either.
Yeah.
So and what's the other one? Quez Watkins. He's maybe Quez Watkins.
Nah, he's definitely better than Quez.
So
They brought in Marquise to be the number two to D Hop.
hey, all I'm saying is Lamar has not had the weapons, and Lamar is that whole team's offense, and he has continued to bring wins to the Baltimore Ravens. If you ask me, I think there's an argument to be made because last week when we had the Herbert versus Hurts debate, a guy asked me who was my top. Name the quarterbacks that I think that is better than Jalen Hurts right now. I said Burrow, Mahomes, Allen, Herbert, and then I said there's a debate. Lamar might be better than him, to be honest with you.
Lamar's just he's so versatile. So like he makes so many guys miss. Like he's a sideline to sideline. He has quick feet. He can make guys miss, and that's what make him a deadly threat. Jalen is a straight line runner. Like he has the body to take more hits. He is. I mean, I guess you could say he's more durable. Um, but he's not going to be running. No, he runs a good amount. I don't know, man. That's tough.
I'm taking Lamar.
That's
Like
tough.
I get it. Y'all like Jalen Hurts, but I've only seen 1 year of this. I seen something of you know what? I say that for later. But all I'm gonna say is I just haven't seen like he's made the plays when he has made the play, but I'm not I'm not I'm not there with everybody else so quickly to say that he's better than these guys. I have proven it year in and year out. This is a 1 year sample size. Ain't that what Jimmy always say?
It is
Sample size.
it is a 1 year sample size, but isn't the NFL top 100 that is ranked by the players?
Hmm.
Isn't that isn't doesn't that change every year?
Yeah,
So can top 10 quarterbacks change every year? All right. Well, Jalen was a top 10 quarterback in 2022, right? So in 2023,
but
is he
but let me
not a
ask you this.
preseason top 10 quarterback?
But I believe Jalen Hurts is probably 6 or 7. Honestly, like I don't have him that far down. I just don't think he's a top 5 quarterback right now.
I
I
didn't say he
think
was a top 5 quarterback.
y'all said that he was he yes, y'all
See,
did.
y'all, you and Jimmy put me in the box with y'all. I did not.
So,
I
so,
didn't
you-
join
so,
this
so, you- so,
conversation.
so basically you watch us go back and forth and
I
you be saying,
did. I literally watched y'all go back and forth, just throw quarterbacks out there. Who's in your top 10? And I just got pushed into y'all saying that I joined in.
"Eh,
No, I did not.
let me ask you this right now. Who are your top 5 quarterbacks?
Top 5 quarterbacks in the league: Mahomes, Burrow, Josh Allen. Mm, this year, I'll say Justin Herbert.
Then who 5?
Damn.
I'll throw out some name. I'll
I
throw out some
mean,
people if you need some. You got Hurts. You got Hurts, Rogers, Brady, uh, Lawrence, uh, Tua, mm, Kirk, Daniel Jones, Gino. Then everybody else is like because
I still want to say Tom. I still want to say Tom was a top 5 quarterback. I mean, he's 46 years old. He did have. I think he was still 4th in passing yards. I mean, granted, they threw it 50 times a game, but I mean, that's just like anybody. I mean, just the other night. I mean, damn, just the other night, Tom threw 66 times,
yeah,
which is
that was
ridiculous.
crazy.
Which
So
was I don't even know how he still was able to throw all them goddamn passes.
so
No
so,
wonder why he was missing.
so that's what I'm saying. Like there's arguments to be made about some other people that's above Hurts. I get it. I get it. Like he was putting up some numbers. So was Lamar at the beginning of the year. The first month of the season, people were saying Lamar was the MVP. So I mean, I'm just not there on Hurts yet. And hey, maybe he'll make me a believer next year when they have to actually have a tougher schedule. And them do let's see them do some of the stuff that everybody is praising him to be like this top quarterback. Because honestly, I was more impressed by Daniel Jones this year than him, to be honest with you.
I mean, Kirk Cousins has just about just as many weapons as Jalen Hurts, and I mean, you see where he is. He's back at home.
I don't, but I think Jalen Hurts, it one, Jalen Hurts is better than Kirk.
Oh yeah,
And
for sure.
the only reason why they're actually home, we'll get to that on the next topic,
We
unless you
will.
want to go ahead and segue to that. But one more thing I wanted to ask you about Lamar. Which, take your biasness out of here. Which one of these teams you think he is the best fit for Lamar? Falcons, Seahawks, Jets, Panthers, or Texans?
There's no doubt about it. I'm saying Atlanta all day because it's damn near the same system. It's damn near the similar system to where he runs now.
I agree.
with with better weapons. I mean, Kyle Pitts is younger than Mark Andrews, and I think he has more potential than Mark Andrews at this point.
I agree with that.
Drake London, again, I gotta fight for him.
He clears any and every one of Ravens wide receivers.
Easily, and we acting like he had a capable quarterback to get him the ball consistently. Don't get me wrong, Drake London, he's a young receiver, had a lot of drops, but I think out of all rookies, he's led in contested catches. So, and this is the reason why you draft a guy like that because he's gonna make those type of plays, right? He has a basketball background, and he did have 800 receiving yards. So we acting like from Desmond Ritter and Marcus Mariota, like, come on now, he was still putting up numbers, And Tyler Algier, I've been telling everyone since the beginning of the year, you got to watch out for this kid. He's going to be
Mm-hmm.
good. He led FBS when he was in college in all rushing touchdowns. He's going to be a good player. And he turned out to be a very solid piece for this offense.
Well, let,
So,
let me ask you this: the only one that would be debatable, and I'm gonna ride with whatever you say. I ain't got no debate because hey, whatever gets him out of my division. Uh, which one? Falcons or Jets? Because the Jets do have weapons. The Jets do have a top defense. The only thing the Jets are really lacking is an offensive line.
I still would say the Falcons because if the Falcons give up pieces, right, and for some odd reason we don't draft that well. So if the Falcons give up draft capital, we'll probably have to give up this year's first round and next
Mm-hmm.
year's first round. We'll probably most likely get like a fifth round or sixth round draft pick back with Lamar. We sign him to a max deal because if they missed out on Deshaun, they not going. If they really want Lamar, they're not going to miss out on Lamar. They're going to send the house
And less hassle.
exactly less baggage.
Yeah.
So, but the good thing about Atlanta is that they have money to spend. So we have enough money to actually go get guys to back up not having the draft capital to develop guys. And you still
Mhm.
have young pieces from the last couple of drafts that has very good potential to be stars in this league. While the Jets, they're going to give up a bunch of capital and they're going to be cap hit because you're going to have to play Quinny, you're going to have to pay you're gonna have to pay Lamar. I mean, in 2 years, you're gonna have to pay Sauce.
Yeah, Elijah Moore.
I'm sure they want to. No, I have a feeling they're gonna get rid of Elijah Moore. There's no way.
Hey,
There's no way
I
that
take him.
that. Oh yeah, for sure. I'll take him in Atlanta too.
So
but
I,
so I got to ride with Atlanta because I feel like we have the pieces
well,
to.
hold on. I know I said I wasn't gonna push back on this, but is there something to say about the Jets having a better defense than y'all?
Oh, 100%. They of course they had a way better defense than us. I just think that it'll put them in cap. It'll cap them in a couple of years to where
I could agree
they
with
got so many young pieces that they're gonna have to start paying guys early.
I could agree with that, and honestly, if I was the Ravens, I'm not trading him inside the AFC. I don't want to have to deal with him. So I would send him to the Falcons, Seahawks, Panthers, any one of those teams. I mean, the only way that I would actually, and I don't think the Texans would do it because like they're rebuilding.
Go get a young
Yeah,
guy,
I would
man.
get Bryce. I'd go get Bryce or Stroud or whoever else you're looking at. But I mean, yeah, if it's me, I would think about the Falcons, Seahawks, or Panthers. If I'm the Ravens, or if I'm even Lamar, if I'm Lamar, I'm either wanting to go to the Jets or the Falcons. Hell, the Seahawks just made it to playoffs also, so any one of those three, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Right now, the leading odds are the Jets, Falcons, then the Patriots.
Patriots.
Yeah,
Dang.
it's gonna be the same thing with them.
I mean,
I mean,
uh,
the only good thing is that the Ravens. So the only negative about the Ravens trading Lamar to the Falcons is just that what quarterback are they going to get in return?
I
So
guess
at
they would get
least
Matt back, right?
they. So if he gets traded to the Patriots, they'll obviously get Mac Jones. If he gets traded to the Falcons, I would assume that we would send Desmond Ritter.
Hmm.
And if he gets traded to the Jets, I mean, you get Zach Wilson.
I don't, well, I think if they say, I think with the Jets and the Panthers, I think they would either bring back Huntley or draft like somebody like a Anthony Richardson or Will Levis or somebody like I don't know how high the Panthers pick is. I think it's like 8 or 9. Maybe Levis might still be there or somebody like that. But I think if like the Seahawks, they got the top 5 pick. I think there's a chance that Baltimore would take a quarterback and not roll with Huntley. Like there's some. I'm not gonna. I say this: Baltimore and Lamar is in a good situation. Like Both
Yeah.
both will come out perfectly fine if they actually do get this divorce, like how everybody is foreseeing.
And you know what? That might be the reason why they went out and got Roquan. Because they want to get back to Raven football. They want to go back to they want to get back to really being a really good defense and being having a middle of the road offense that they can control the clock and stop people, stop these high powered offenses, especially in the AFC.
Hey, hey, that defense kind of tough. I can't even lie. As much as I would like to discredit them, that defense is pretty good.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and let's get to a defense that isn't good at all. The Minnesota Vikings. Man, oh man,
Darius,
man,
what you thinking? Is it the
damn.
QB, or is it another reason why the Vikings got eliminated?
A lot of times I would have said Kirk Cousins.
Mm,
But this is the only time you got to give Kirk, you can't put Kirk Cousins out there and say it was his fault. Unfortunately, this defense gave up 400 yards
mm,
total, over 400 yards total. They had Daniel Jones out there tying Dak with the same amount of playoff wins at
mm.
some point before Dak beat up Dak and the Cowboys beat up the Bucks.
Speak on
Daniel
it.
Jones just played himself into a big contract. Well, not a
Mm.
big contract, but
I
at
know. I
least,
think he's getting
but at least,
paid.
you think he's gonna get a 5 year deal? I think he's gonna get a
Hey,
nice 3 year deal.
hey, what I saw, I say this. I think it all gonna also come down to what he does against the Eagles this Sunday. But
Yeah,
I mean, hey, I don't see why he couldn't put up. I'm not gonna say he's gonna put up those same numbers because he threw for 300 and still rushed for 70. But I think he can at least put up 250 and have like couple rushing yard, like 40, 50, and couple touchdowns. I mean, hey, I think he's getting paid, to be honest with you. I really do. Him and Saquon. And then
yeah.
they go out there and get D Hop or Brandon
Ooh,
Cooks.
ooh, that'll be lovely for that offense. They need a weapon on the outside. The Vikings is so bad. They had
Mm.
Isaiah Hodges out there cooking them up. Oh my goodness. I can't put it on Kirk, man. He did everything he could. He put up 273 and two tubs. Only bad thing Kirk did was at
Yes.
the end of the game throw that goddamn out route to TJ Hawkinson instead of just throwing the ball down the field. Uh, Granted, he was pressured. He did have pressure on him, but still, you got to find a way to throw the football down the field instead of just dumping it off when the game is on the line. This is the game-winning drive. Like, come on,
Yes.
get the ball down the field. This is another team that's just like I feel like they're the Chargers. They're just stuck. They're just stuck having to play these teams that are gonna just dominate them every year once they get into the playoffs. Especially not having a good defense. So your foundational defense is horrible, and Kirk Cousins can win you the game, but a lot of times lose you the game. And especially in the playoff moments, I don't see him doing that great, future in the future. Because I mean, they got JJ, they got Justin Jefferson, and they got TJ Hawkinson. That
Osborne has been
KJ Osborne
stepping
has
up.
played well, so he may develop into that number two, probably
I
be
think he's
like
already.
that.
I think he's already that. I think Thielen's gone after this season.
I think Thielen's going as well, and I still think Thielen still got some in the tank. Like I think Thielen could be good in the system. I think Thielen could gel well in like New England.
Yeah,
Um,
I would like to see him in the Rams.
you know what? I wouldn't mind seeing him with Green Bay if Rodgers was
Hey,
there.
that's a fact. That's a fact.
He could be a complimentary because he's a possession guy that just finds a
Mhm.
way to score touchdowns. In Atlanta, he could play in Atlanta, be a number two. So there's some places that Thielen can go and still play very well. But I don't know. This team is just like over the next 3 years. I mean, they haven't had a good secondary at least the last 3 to 5 years. It's been horrible. They've missed every single time. Just that's just like when I was talking about with Mike and the Titans.
Mhm.
the Titans just continue to miss every year after year after year on these DBs. And it's the same thing with the Vikings. They try to draft a DB and it just doesn't work.
Yeah, yeah. I thought Sullivan was decent this year for them, but I don't know. That defense is just horrible. I say this: Kirk Cousins isn't your answer, but he damn sure ain't your problem for why y'all lost. I mean, I was surprised about some of these numbers that Kirk put up, and hey, Kirk won me some money, so Kirk is all right in my book. Kirk put up 4,500 yards, 66 percent completion, 29 TDs. I mean, offense was ranked seventh in yard and points every per game. Now, if you want to really talk about some bad numbers, let's go talk about that defense. 31st in yards allowed, 28th in points allowed. Like, what we gonna do with that, bro? Like, I, I say this: Kirk and them at the beginning of the game, they went down there, drove, scored first TD. I was like, oh shoot, Vikings might be on. Vikings might be on something today. Like they heard everybody talking that mess about the Giants gonna upset them, and they coming out here. They gonna come out here and prove everybody wrong. But what that defense do? Very next drive, let Saquon run that thing to the house. So
Yep.
I'm just I can't blame Kirk. Yes, Kirk has his flaws. I agree with that, but Kirk wasn't the issue. And Grant, like you said, Kirk shouldn't have thrown no 3 yard pass on an when they needed 8 yards to get a first down. I would at
Yeah.
least throw it up to Jefferson and try to see if he can make a play or see if he can get a pass interference call, something. But that was the only thing Kirk did wrong. Other than that, it's just that defense. They got to fire. They have to fire the defensive coordinator. They have to just build that defensive. Like the linebackers are trash. The secondary is trash. Like they have to build up good pieces on that defense. And when they do that, then they can actually people might actually start believing in them. But I mean, they might be the Chargers of the NFC right now.
Yeah, that's exactly who I see them as. They're just going to be stuck behind these other teams that are just going to continuously get better and better. And honestly, if I'm a D coordinator, who are the top D coordinators in the league? Dan Quinn. You
I
got the
would say the
guy.
old boy from the Broncos,
You got
49ers,
the 49ers.
Eagles, DC. Uh, honestly, I would throw the Bengals D coordinator up there. I mean, he doesn't get the praise like how everybody else does, but Lou makes some timely adjustments. I will say that. And um, do do the Steelers actually have a D coordinator, or is it just Tomlin?
I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, why would any one of these guys even want to go coach them? He has to revamp this whole defense. He has to get them. He has to totally revamp this whole defense.
Well,
Their,
that's why
their
you get a
defensive players, their defensive stars is actually like old. Like they're kind of
Mhm.
like they're kind of what I don't want to say
They
washed up, but
watch.
like
They
they
watch.
I don't want to say washed up, but like they a shell of themselves. Like Pat P ain't the same.
I
Pat
agree
P
with that.
Pat P is not the same.
I agree with that. Was it the Darius Smith isn't bad, and Daniil Hunter was still getting some pressure. I mean, like I said, it's just that secondary. Like that's where they need the help. And you say what D coordinator, but you got to think about it. Some of these defensive coordinators is getting fired left and right nowadays. I'm sure there's somebody out there that's pretty good, or you go out here and get somebody off of like go get a linebackers coach off of somebody's roster that like the Eagles linebackers coach or the 49ers linebacker coach who you think might can come in there and change stuff for y'all. Like you never know. You just really never know what these coaches can do.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, yeah. So we're gonna have to see what this Vikings do, man. Because I think we both agreed that this time we can't blame it on Kirk.
Mhm.
But again, he is what he is. You know what you're getting out of him. They do have a good offense, but they're gonna just be that stagnant team that just kind of gets in every year, and we kind of know what it's
Let me
going to
ask you
be.
this: do you think they make it next year? And the only reason why I ask that is because the Lions are on the upswing. The Bears do have the number one overall pick. I'm not going to say nothing about the Packers because I'm just not too sure about them. But as far as the Lions and the Bears, I have some high aspirations for them over the Vikings because of if they don't fix this defense, I'm just not sure about them. Like I mean, the Lions look pretty good, and then you still have like, I mean, I know it's the ifs, but say y'all get Lamar, that's another playoff spot taken. Well, I guess that would just be the number 4 seed
But
taken.
we definitely taking the NFC South.
Yeah,
If
so
Lamar comes, we're definitely going to take the NFC South.
but even Tampa Bay, if they go out here and get like a Jimmy G or somebody, I would still put them in the playoffs. Also, it's a couple teams that I think like if the Vikings don't fix their defense, I don't see them making the playoffs again next year. To be honest with you,
You know what? I was thinking that the Vikings wouldn't make the playoffs either, but their offense is too good. Their offense is good enough to get them into the playoffs.
they're gonna have to face a tougher schedule next year. I say this: they didn't have that tough schedule last year. I mean, this year, so they're gonna have a tougher schedule. I don't know. I don't know about that defense, and then also another year of Kirk. Do you really want that?
I mean, they have no choice. Again,
You're
again,
right.
they
You're right.
got no choice. They got no choice. And this one is a juicy one, right, Don? This is probably what you've been waiting for. Hey, you know what? The good thing yeah, got the win, right? That's all that matters, right?
Exactly. Hey, I seen somebody put in the Bengals group chat in the Bengals community, just survive, and hey, we survived. So, hey, I, I don't honestly. I know it's who had the what it was, who had the uglier win, or which what is it? Which one is it?
Who had the ugliest win? Which one look better or worse?
I say this. I speak of my Bengals. I tell you this. I wasn't thoroughly impressed by the offense. I'll tell you that right now. But I do feel like Burrow had a good game for who he was playing against. Burrow has this ability of knowing what to do, kind of like Tom Brady, like knowing what type of game that he needs that week. If he needs to go drop 500 yards on you that week, or if he needs just to protect the ball and not turn it over, and he knows that they'll get the win if he just protects the ball and just manages the game. So I feel like he just managed the game very well, and yeah, he didn't put up gaudy numbers, but he also didn't make mistakes. On the other side, and let me also speak on Sam Hubbard, and that defense stepped up. 98-yard fumble return. They calling it the rumble in the jungle. Hey, I man, I about jumped out my socks when that play was happening.
I just took the plus as soon as the Bengals went plus. I was watching it. I was like, "Here's my moment." Boom, got it, and then y'all immediately got the fumble touchdown, and I was like, "There we go. That's the play right there." But I will say, yo, y'all couldn't stop the run.
That was a fact. That
Y'all
was a
could
fact.
not stop
But
that rushing attack.
but
It's
there's the
it's just
Ravens
the
are the only ones. The Ravens are the only ones that have that particular type of running offense. Like nobody
very
else has that type of running offense like that.
very true. Very true. So yeah, I don't have to worry about that either, especially this week. Um,
Mhm.
I will say if Lamar played, y'all might have lost that game. I will say that. I will definitely say that
I
because
hear.
because he would have made that running. He would have made that rushing attack better.
I
And
hear
y'all
people.
wasn't playing that well. Their defense, the Ravens
I agree.
defense had y'all number on offense.
I
I was like,
agree, but
wow.
I heard somebody also say that earlier. Oh, and some of the Ravens players. Oh, if we had Lamar, we would have won. I'm not too inclined to agree with that just so quickly and so easily because Lamar numbers in the playoffs are not good. They are horrible. So for me, Huntley might have been your best chance of winning, and we saw that he wasn't able to pull it out. Huntley put up like 200 and over 250. It was like 286 total yard, and bro was balling after that one interception. I ain't gonna lie, he was looking like a little mini Lamar about there, but just actually performing well in the playoffs. Lamar in the playoffs, his teams is only averaging 12 points in the playoffs. What you gonna do with that, Darius? Like, I can't justify and say that Lamar was gonna elevate this team and say, oh yeah, he would have definitely beat the Bengals if he was up out there. I can't say that. But what I can say is my choice for who had the ugliest win is the Bills. Hey, I remember when I was coming on this podcast and I was telling you and Jimmy, Josh Allen is turnover prone. And all I was getting was pushback left and right about Josh Allen. Would you care to know Josh Allen now 16 interceptions, 16 fumbles? Now the math on that is 32 turnovers. That is ridiculous for one man to have that many turnovers.
I will say, I got here, I got here in my notes. Um, Two things. So I did give the Bills the ugliest win out of the two because the Bengals made some big plays, or the defensively, the big plays. I just
Yeah,
think offensively, the Ravens defense played are very tough.
that's the toughest
Um,
defense they're gonna see in the AFC.
and I would say the reason why I think Lamar would have been a better if the game flow went the exact same way. Let's just say the game flow went exactly the same way. There could have been a difference in that play call at the end, or when he fumbled, when Tyler Hunt when in that strip fumble, that play call could have been different,
I
right?
agree. I agree. But I will
So
say this: the Ravens have said they don't change the play calling from Huntley or Lamar.
it's like it's like Lamar Jackson. Then you get like Lamar Jackson C and like Lamar Jackson like D minus. Like it's like a different variations of Lamar Jackson that just gets worse and worse and worse. Out of the three, and I like Tyler Huntley. I truly do, but he kind of showed himself this year of why he really is a backup. But
He he was straight. I say this. He played better than what he did all regular season. I was surprised by it, to be honest with you.
he didn't play horrible, but he couldn't get the ball to his receivers consistently. Like Lamar could have made some of those passes. But so the game was so close that it was so close that I think Lamar could have made a difference in that game. But at the end of the day, y'all did win. So we gotta give it to y'all. And this is the game that everyone wanted. They wanted that because we didn't get that rematch. So we didn't get that game. So now this is the game pretty much everybody wanted to see. So now we're gonna get it this week. But I will still give it to the Bills having the ugliest win.
Mm.
And it's you hit it right on the money. It's the turnovers, man. It's the turnovers. They had 3 turnovers versus the Dolphins, and the
Mm,
Dolphins scored 17 points off of those turnovers.
mm.
Just give that to a better team, and the
Oh, don't.
outcome.
Hey, you won't have to worry for too long. It will happen next week. He will give it to a better team, and that better team will capitalize on every single one of those turnovers Josh Allen gives us.
We gonna see. We gonna see. So I mean, the Bills the last 4 weeks got 11 turnovers.
Mm, mm.
I think Josh Allen's just trying to do too much. I think he's holding the football way too long. I think again he's trying to make too many big plays. It's this offense. The defense actually isn't bad. They're getting better. I mean, they did play Tyreek. They did hold. I mean, they were playing Skylar Thompson. So this is a different breed now.
Hmm.
The big thing is the X factor is that D line in that pass rush that you guys may struggle with because of the simple fact you guys now have 3 linemen that may possibly at least 2 are out, but we don't know if Jonah Williams is coming back this week.
I'll say this. I'll say this right quickly.
So
I see
with
this.
that, that's
I
an
see.
X
No,
factor right there.
hold on. I don't know if this stat is going. I don't know if this stat is going to help you out any. But when they had Von Miller, they was fourth in pressures. Now that they don't have Von Miller, they're 27th. They are not getting to the quarterback.
They had three
So
sacks this week.
it was Skylar Thompson, man. He was
It's
holding the ball. He like
so is the
bro
is the
was
is the is the Dolphins online horrible? Is
I
Tyron
don't think
Armstead?
they're that he's the only like it's not that many good players on the Dolphins O line that's very good to be honest with you. They had some guys holding about that. That's not that very good. I say this. Do I think the Bills will get to Burrow? Maybe a couple times, but I don't think they're gonna be the deciding factor on this game, to be honest with you. Um as far as the Bills, Josh Allen will give it to you and he's going to be the reason why they lose this game this Sunday.
They're not
Mark
gonna
it
lose.
down. Mark it
They're
down.
not gonna lose.
Mark it down. Hey, you know the good thing about this is we're recording this. And you know I'm petty enough that I will go back and I will record this and send it to you and say you remember this. Just like what we told Mike. We said the Titans wasn't going to win. And what happened? The Titans did not win. So, me personally, I think Josh Allen is going to cost them the game. I think he's going to at least 2 to 3 turnovers. Um, I say this: the Dolphins really should have won this game. To be honest with you, I mean, some people could say the same thing about the Ravens. Okay, cool, but Skylar Thompson, a third string quarterback, and to be honest with you, to start like everything around Skylar Thompson, yes, he had his downfalls also, but he's a third string quarterback. What are you expecting? Everything around Skylar Thompson let him down. Waddle, first drive, he had a bomb in his hands and he dropped it. That could have been points right there. I seen Tyreek Hill drop a key third down pass, more points. Mike McDaniel's clock management at the end of the game, thinking it was first down when it was 4th and 1. I mean, in that fourth quarter, it was constant play clock running down low. So I just felt like the Bills got out there by the skin of their chinny chin chin. But you know what? Next week, old Mr. Burrow is coming in town, and old Mr. Burrow is gonna put something on them.
Yeah, yeah, I
And
gotta go to Buffalo.
and you know the crazy part about it is it's not a neutral site game, but hey, we go into what they say, go into your trap, take over your trap. That's what's gonna happen on Sunday.
But see, you think Josh Allen's gonna lose them the game, and I could see that happen if they lose, right? But they're not.
Mhm.
I think their defense is going to win them the game. I think the defense is going to make some type of impactful play, whether it's an interception, whether it's a sack at the towards the end of the game or some point mid game that's going to be that difference maker for that to help the Bills get to the next game, which will be against the Chiefs, and then the Bills will get their revenge,
Mm.
and that's how they'll be in the Super Bowl right there.
Ladies and gentlemen, Darius also chose the Bills. That's why he has so much riding on if the Bills
I
win.
do. I do. They are my Super Bowl picks. I've been riding with them all year, man. I ain't switch
And
up.
he for some reason he sees the same stuff I see, but he isn't analyzing it the same way that I'm analyzing it. I
Because they
don't know
got the
why.
defense. It's the
Their
defense
defense
that
is not. Their defense is good. I give them that. But also, they do play a lot of man coverage. And
they
what's the
do.
one team that you do not want to play man coverage against? The people that has the best wide receiver trio out there and also have Hayden Hurst. So I'm just going off of
Why
what
you
I
just gotta
see.
be why you gotta just throw stuff out there like that that just don't you know it's nigga nonsense. Come
Hey,
on, you know that.
is it not true? What I'm
The
saying is it
best
not true?
trio in football?
Wide receiver trio?
Yes.
Who is better?
You know what? I'm glad you said that because this is what I was saying before we started right here. Now, I'm glad you just had to throw that best trio in it. So I put up a YouTube short on my page. I think it was a couple of weeks ago, and I was saying how the best duo in football is Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. And you looked at me like I was crazy, and I was like, "You better not say Jamar Chase and T. Higgins."
Hey,
And you
and I did.
said,
I said
you,
AJ Brown
you said
and
AJ. Yep,
and
you sure
also
did.
and also I would also say T Higgins and Jamar Chase both were
And I
over a
had a
thousand.
hilarious comment. A guy was like, yeah, he was about to say Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. And I was like, for sure, he was definitely thinking Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
Hey, I can have said it at the moment because they didn't have the stats to back it up, but now they do. Now they do, so I could talk my mess. And hey, you can say whatever you want about Tyreek Hill and Waddle. They didn't show up in the playoff game. Waddle was dropping passes after passes. It looked like the
Yeah,
moment was too big.
yeah.
Tyreek Hill, you can't take nothing away from that man. He actually performs in the playoffs, but hey, he didn't
I had,
help
a,
his backup
I had, a,
quarterback.
I had a Dolphins fan told me today that Jalen Waddle's a top 10 receiver. I say he's not there yet. He's like 15. He's
He,
like 15. He also said Christian Kirk was a top 15, 20 receiver as well.
he out his damn mind.
So
He is
you
out
see
his
see how
damn.
see how see how, see how they moving out here, man.
Hey, don't get me wrong. I will be a Christian Kirk fan on Saturday. Don't get me wrong.
To beat them Chiefs, yeah, it
Yeah.
ain't happening, bro.
Hey,
It ain't happening.
hey. We've seen crazier things happen. Uh, I say this: Trevor Lawrence has not lost a Saturday game in
They
his life.
playing Saturday again?
Yes,
Oh my goodness. Yeah, the NFL be doing this on purpose.
and so hey,
So
I'm just
y'all got the Sunday night game?
Sunday at 3.
Sunday at 3. Okay, so y'all got the first game on Sunday.
No, Sunday at we got this. Yeah, Sunday at 3. Yeah, it is 3. I believe so. I can check
Wow.
right quick, but because the thing also play 49ers and Cowboys play that same day. We
Oh
play.
no, no, no. The Cowboys got the primetime game on Saturday.
No, they got a
No, no,
Sunday.
they got a Sunday. They got a
Yeah,
Sunday.
we play at
And then
3.
the Giants, the Eagles and Giants got the prime time on Saturday.
Yeah, which is fine. Hey, I'm fine. Hey, we can just go ahead and knock the Bills off right quick. Jags handle their business, and they come to the jungle. Darius, mark my words. Watch what I'm saying. We're gonna be back here next week, and then I'm just gonna be sitting here.
You know what? See, I can't agree with that because you know why I'm on a roll right now. I said that when the Giants see the Vikings round one, they're gonna beat them. That happened.
Mm-hmm.
I said the Cowboys is gonna beat the Patriots. I mean the fucking Patriots. I said the Cowboys is gonna beat the Bucks. They
Darius, you
did.
know, you know
And then
who
I
you
said,
know who also made these same predictions
and
this
then
week?
I said that the Cowboys is gonna lose to the 49ers 28-7. That's my score prediction. Because
28-7.
28-7. They're gonna get dominated.
Oh
That
my God!
defense is gonna come out there. Dak ain't gonna have the type of game he just had this week. That run game is gonna get stopped all day.
You know what? Hey, we gonna hold that for the prediction. We gonna do that right after the fact account, man. Cause you on one right now. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Watch,
7
watch.
points. Oh my
The
God.
Giants is gonna keep this game close too. They're gonna lose.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Um. Next, our final topic is fact or cap. Um,
I like
Darius,
this one.
do you
I'm
want
ready. I'm ready
do
for this
you
one,
want to
man.
start or you want me to start?
I only got a couple, man. So you go ahead and start it off.
Um, First one. Lamar has played his last game as a Baltimore Raven.
From his message, I could say fact. I could say that's a fact. I don't see them get coming to terms and being able to give him what he's really looking for. And honestly, I just think they're done. They're both sides are done with each other.
I 100% agree with that. I would be absolutely shocked if Lamar is back on the Ravens. And I get it, they can franchise tag him, but I don't think he's gonna want to be there. Like you showed this man you don't value him. So
Yeah,
when you show him that you don't value him, why would I want to come back? Like I don't see it.
100%.
Next one. Brady will retire after this offseason.
Ooh, I can't. I think Brady's gonna play one more year. I can't
Where?
see him going out like that. I predicted he's going to the Raiders, and that's actually, you know what? Now that we get in fact the cap, do you think Brady's going to the Raiders? Because that's what I'm hearing right now. I'm hearing the Dolphins or the Raiders. Those are the two most likely spots, landing spots for him. I don't think he's going to go to the 49ers. I think, honestly, they're going to give Brock Purdy another opportunity. And you know what also I saw? I saw Trey Lance possibly in a Falcons jersey as well. So who knows? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know how this quarterback,
Hey, hey,
this quarterback carousel is going to go.
the 49ers are known to keep multiple decent quarterbacks. So Trey Lance probably gonna still be there even if Brock Purdy is starting. Um as far as Brady, uh honestly, I see him retiring, to be honest with you. I just can't
You
see
and
him
this Brady
playing.
retiring.
No, because I mean, honestly, look at what we saw the other night. He was missing passes, throwing it in the dirt, looking like he was scared as soon as the defender got close to him, just
Because
dropping to the
his old
ground.
line can't
But
block
but
for
I'm saying,
nothing.
how are you going to be a? Sometimes you have to stay in there and take a hit just to deliver a pass, just to get that completion. Brady, as soon as he sees somebody, he gets scared. He crumbling, falling to the ground. You're not going to win like that. And okay, you're saying I heard that his son is starting to play quarterback right now for either the middle school team or the high school team. Is Brady really not going to want to be around there to like show him the ins and outs of being a quarterback? I hey, I would think that you would want to be somewhere near your kids and not go to Las Vegas or Miami. They're going to be living in Tampa. Like I don't see it. I foresee him retiring and calling it a career.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't see him loving anything more than football. And can you
What
really
about
see? Can you see Tom Brady really just sitting there? He got to let the kids. You got to let the kids, man. You got to do it for the kids. But we talking about football. We talk about football. Like, honestly, I don't see why teams just don't be like, nah, Tom, no. Like, I don't understand
you?
how he gets so many opportunities to just be able to be like, I'm gonna play this year.
And the
Who
thing and
want
the
me?
thing about it is the thing about it is wherever he even if he did want to play a game, the situation has to be perfect for him
It
because he
has to be it literally has to be perfect.
and
Like,
I
he
don't see a
needs an O
perfect
line.
situation
He
out there
needs weapons.
besides the 49ers, and I don't think the 49ers are going to want him, to be honest with
And don't get me wrong, with every, like, in a perfect scenario, I think he would thrive. I think that would be perfect for him. But it's just like, dude, I got to do so much just to even compliment your game. It's just like,
you. Hmm.
Tom, you did it. You did it. You the go. We already goaded you. You got it.
And exactly. And on top of that, even if you did say the 49ers are going to lose some pieces this year because they have so many good players that their contracts are coming up. All of them aren't going to be able to come back there. So now you're talking about some lesser talent. I'm not going to say it's going to be so diminished that they can't win, but you're talking about going from elite talent to maybe just average or whatnot. And you're talking about going from a mobile quarterback and Brock Purdy who can move around in the pocket to
To a statue.
exactly. Nah, retirement. Um, another one I have. Every team that is favorite this week should be on upset alert. And that's the Eagles, the Chiefs, the Bills, and the 49ers. All of them have a chance at losing.
I think they all have it, except the Chiefs. I think they
You don't think
all.
the Jags can beat the Chiefs?
Nah, I
Mm.
don't. I don't think so. I think Bill Bellamy and Andy Reid is in there, um, in the film room right now with Pat Mahomes. getting it right. They getting it right. They know it's
Not, not over, not over
they're fighting.
WP.
They're fighting for their legacy. They're fighting for their spot to be called a dynasty. They're still fighting to get there. And
Not over,
we spoke
not over
about this.
Dougie P, who y'all was praising.
Oh, Dougie P, my boy. Dougie P in the place to be. I like Dougie P. I like Dougie P a lot, man. But nah, Dougie P not gonna win this game. This is different from playing in the NFC.
Mm,
This is the what Jimmy say, the creme de la creme right here.
I've seen Andy
That's
lose.
it.
I've seen
But
him lose. But
I mean, the Bills are the Bills favorite right now.
yes, by
Are they
5.
the
They
favorite?
say they're gonna win. I think it's -5.
Let me see. I'm gonna check and see if the Bills is the favorite right now. And the Bills are definitely the favorite right now.
Mm,
I could that could be an upset, but I still got the Bills. The Giants and the Eagles. Did the Eagles beat them twice this year? I believe
yes,
so.
and I say this to be objective. The Giants have not won there in a very long time. I think like I seen the stat. I think it started at 2013. They haven't won since 2013 or something like that in Philly. But I'm
That's
I
tough.
save that. I save that.
I could see that happening, like Saquon getting a breaking off a run or something like that and closing out a game like he's done a
I
few
w-
times
I
this year.
won.
I mean,
I won.
I could see only two teams really getting upset, and that's the Bills and maybe the Eagles. But I still got the Eagles winning. I got all the favorites winning this week. I think all four of the favorites are going to win this week. The Chiefs, the Eagles, the Bills, and the 49ers.
Hey, by you picking all the favorites last week, that came back to cost you by picking the Chargers. But hey,
I thought the Chargers will pull it off, man.
uh,
I really did.
and I imagine the Vikings was the favorites also. So last week,
They
but
were.
I said my next one, Josh Allen is the reason the Buffalo Bills will not win a championship. Now I know this is going to be tough for you since you have them winning.
Yeah, it is going to be tough for me because I think the defense will complement him turning the ball over so goddamn much. I mean,
Mm,
if he can just slow it down a little bit, if the
mm.
offense could slow it down a little bit and not turn the goddamn ball over, they will be better than what they are. They should be better than what they are.
This is a big fact. Josh Allen. Nick Wright said it best. There's a roller coaster. Josh Allen is like a roller coaster. There's the ups and the downs. And hey, I think this weekend is going to be a down, and he's going to cost them. We've seen all year he's turnover prone. He really is. So what makes me give any thought that he's not going to be turnover prone this week? Mm, I would say he's going to be the reason they don't win this game. Um, The Browns and the Broncos will regret giving their QBs huge deals.
Hmm. I had a random thought today when I was doing my notes. I'm just like, man, what if Deshaun Watson doesn't get back to the way he really was this
Mm.
year, and he's just still not the same player?
Oh.
I had like this random thought, and I was like,
That's what I've been trying to tell y'all.
that could be possible. That could be possible, and it just doesn't work out in Cleveland. It's just like when star players go to the New York Knicks. Like it's just like for some reason they just don't. They're just not the same.
Hey.
And
Mm.
because Cleveland's just a bad organization, it's just like bad juju just goes to the players that they bring in. So I wouldn't be surprised if that does happen to Deshaun Watson. Russell Wilson, I
Here
think
we go.
he
Here
can.
we go.
You know what? I think he can make. I think he has better accuracy than Tom Brady at the moment.
That's
And
not
that's
hard.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing because we're talking about probably like a 10-year difference in age.
I was gonna say that's not hard to be.
And
Uh,
so I think Russell can still he's still he's still a starting quarterback in this league currently.
I agree with that, but I do think like it's going to get to the point where you looking at that deal like we're paying Russell Wilson this much and he's not even getting us to the playoffs. Like this is going to be a bad deal. Like that Russell Westbrook deal is going to start looking bad. It really is.
Well, Russell Westbrook is actually playing pretty well this year.
Now off the bench, but I'm saying before, like last year,
Oh
everybody
yeah,
was piling on him. But so,
for sure,
um,
for sure. I could definitely see I see the deal being bad, but Russell not being for what they're paying him, he's not giving them that. He's not giving them the value of what they paid him. So yeah, I can see that being a bad deal, but he isn't horrible.
mm, debatable. Um, the the Bears will trade the number one overall pick.
I think that's a fact. What unless you get Alabama's outside linebacker
Will
or
Anderson.
Will Anderson, unless you go get Will Anderson or you take the guy from Georgia,
Carter.
there's there's no other possibility that you pick anyone in that spot because there are going to be so many other teams that's looking to get into that number one spot because Houston doesn't have that number one pick in order to get their franchise quarterback. I think it should be CJ Stroud. I think he's the better of the two, but I won't be surprised if Bryce Young goes first.
I uh I 100% agree with this. I could see the Panthers moving up if they don't go out here and get a Lamar type of player. Like I could see them trading some picks just to go up to number one and securing that number one overall pick and getting a franchise QB because that's what they've been needing. Like they've had some weapons in Carolina. Like they have like Terrence Marshall is pretty good. DJ Moore is pretty good. Like they have some pieces. So I agree with that. Okay. Brian Dayball is a top 10 coach right now and a QB whisperer.
QB whisper, I think it's too early to say.
Hold on. The reason why I say QB whisperer,
Who else did he coach up?
Josh Allen. Josh Allen was a turnover prone before he got there last year. And he got there, Josh Allen turnovers went back down. What are we seeing this year? Turnovers are back, and they're back full-fledged 32 turnovers. Daniel Jones, the year before, last year, turnover prone. This year, low, very low now. And
Okay.
Daniel Jones is
I mean, when you put it that way, it could you could say that. You could say that. But we need another year out of Daniel Jones. And I will say Daniel Jones played very well this year without having the weapons on the outside consistently. He's played very well.
so is he a top 10 coach?
Dayball, we will have to run down the coaching list again. And again, it's a small, very, very small sample size. I say give him another year.
Okay. I can agree with that one. I definitely can. How about this one? This I know you like this team here. The Rams will not make the playoffs again, even with Stafford.
I could see that. I could see that happening. I think San Fran's going to take this division again next year.
Mm.
I think Seattle's going to be competitive again next year, but not make the playoffs.
I think Seattle will be better than them.
I could see that. I could see that. And I don't, yeah, I could see the Rams not making the playoffs again. And Aaron Donald's also talking about retiring again. So, I mean, when
Jalen
you got,
Ramsey posted something cryptic like he don't know if he gonna be back. Like, mm.
send them to Atlanta. Hey, I've been doing recruiting. Oh yeah, I don't recruited Josh Jacobs. I'm recruiting Jalen Ramsey. Hey, Lamar Jackson, come to Atlanta. Who else we recruited? Hey, we recruited Jesse Bates.
Hey, I can't even say
hey,
nothing about that one because that one seemed like it might be true.
hey,
Real soon.
I'm recruiting this year, man.
Hey, and probably in about 3 to 4 weeks after we win the Super Bowl, hey, you can have them. You can have him. I like him, but
Yeah,
we
okay.
we just don't got the cap to pay for him. I'm interested in this one. Jalen Hurts is widely overrated, and Dak Prescott is better.
No, 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 no. Dak is Dak. When we say Kirk is Kirk, Dak is Dak. It's just like it's a straight line of just they're very consistent in the numbers that they'll give you every year, and they give you the same stats, they give you the same wins. Kirk Cousins easily 9 or 11 wins. Dak Prescott is easily 10 to 11 wins. But they also have a team to complement them. So Dak has a defense that
Does
can,
Jalen not have a team that
but
compliments him?
but Jalen Hurts, I think he has 6 interceptions this year, 28 touchdowns, but he also has 7 rushing touchdowns. He's elevated his game with the weapons that he has.
I could
Give him
see
another year.
I could yeah, I could see why you would say this about Jalen Hurts, but you know me, I'm not that high on Jalen Hurts right
I don't
now.
think Jalen. I don't think Jalen Hurts is overrated. He's played big time football. He played for Bama, which is a very tough,
Oh, y'all keep
especially
on bringing up.
especially playing for under Nick Saban being a mobile quarterback. He doesn't. He's natural. That system has never really had that type of quarterback. You you go to Oklahoma. You play very well and you play big time football. So I mean, I think Jalen Hurts is a lot better than what the credit he's given.
Mm, no, I don't. But I say this: I think there's an argument to be made about that one. To be honest with you, like I've been a Dak is turnover prone person, also saying talking about him, but I say there's a level of consistency Dak has shown year in and year out. Dak does put up numbers. Yes, he does have an interception problem or a turnover problem, but at the same time, ah, I'm just I gotta see Jalen Hurts do this against top tier competition. I just saw Dak Prescott go against a Super Bowl winning defense and torched them. That same defense Jalen Hurts struggled with last year. So I get it, but I'm just not. I'm not sold on Jalen Hurts yet. My last one: 49ers and Eagles only look this good because they had one of the easiest strengths of schedules.
Eagles, I could say yes. 49ers,
Both of them had easy schedules.
I mean, but coming in, did they have one of the easiest schedules coming in at the beginning of the year?
They played. I say this: both of them played the NFC. The NFC.
South?
No, North. Both of them played it, or at least did the 49ers play the? Did they play the Packers? No, they didn't play the Packers. But I do know for a fact that the Eagles had to play that whole division. Mm, the Lions at the beginning of the year, their defense wasn't hitting on nothing. The Bears are the Bears. The Vikings, they're fraudulent. And then who else am I missing? I think that was it. So I, they didn't play anybody, man. Like literally, they played nobody. Like the Eagles, they cool, but I want to see them against the 49ers. I want to see them like we saw. I say this even when they
Okay,
played the
they're saying that the 49ers had the easiest schedule in the league, but let's see here. Let me check something here because at the beginning of the season, how many of these teams that were projected to be playoff teams?
Yeah.
Because we also got to give it to that as well. I mean, the Bears, okay. The Seahawks,
Mm.
okay. So given those 2 wins, and they lost to the Bears, the Broncos were supposed to be a
No,
playoff team.
no, they beat. I thought they beat the Bears.
Nah, they lost to the Bears week 1.
Oh.
So So the Broncos supposed to be a playoff team and they lost to them. They beat
Like,
the Rams. The Rams supposed to be a playoff team, so that's two.
yeah,
They got the
like
Chiefs. They
literally.
got the Rams again.
Hold
That's
on,
four.
you skip two teams that
I
you
did.
skip
I
the
skipped the seat.
Panthers, the
Yeah,
Panthers.
but the Panthers and the Falcons they were projected like under 5 wins.
Yeah, but I'm more so saying look at the schedule as in like they didn't play anybody. Like the only teams that you can actually say on the schedule that was actually good when they played them was the Chargers and the Chiefs blew them
But
out. To
but
be
that's
honest,
what I'm saying at the beginning of the season. So yes,
not
this
Chargers.
year
I meant Dolphins, not Chargers.
the league made a turn, right? The Saints are supposed to be at least in contention to play to be in the playoffs, right? The Bucks are supposed to be a better team than what they were. The Raiders are supposed to be a better team than what they were. The Cardinals are supposed to be a better team than what they were, and the Rams. So they played the Cardinals and the Rams twice. So that's 4 games right there. They play the Chargers. They
But let
play
me
the
ask you. But
Saints.
let me ask you
They
this.
they play. Hold on, the Bucks,
Hmm.
and so that's 7. And then the Broncos. That's 8 right there. That's damn near 8. Half their schedule was supposed to be playoff teams.
But let me
None of
ask you.
those teams are playoff teams
But yeah,
except
but
the Bucks.
let me ask you this. Yeah, I get what you're saying at the beginning of the year. You could say that, but then once you've seen how these teams is playing in the year, that doesn't take away from that these teams aren't good. Like they still are. They still did face an easier strength of schedule because these teams weren't good this year,
Yeah,
regardless of what they was
you
projected to be.
you could say that. Yeah, you could say that.
And I'm sure if we went down the Eagles schedule, it looked very similar. A lot of easy teams to beat. So I'm not sold on either
But
one.
it wasn't. But it wasn't supposed to be that way. So for them to take the advantage and beat those teams, you got to give them an A.
I mean, like honestly, I pulled up the Eagles schedule. They played the Lions, Vikings, Commanders, Jags, Cardinals, Cowboys, Steelers, Texans, Commanders, Colts, Packers, Titans, Giants, Bears, Cowboys, Saints, Giants. What we gonna do with any of that? That's no top tier competition that I named off. Not one. I would hope they'd had the best record in the league. All these easy wins that they got.
Yeah, and that's why I said for who they had to play, they lined up in front of that team, and for them to win that as many games they did, I gave the Eagles an A because you got to play who's in front of you. And at the beginning of the season, I can't really say for the Eagles, but the 49ers, half of those teams are supposed to be playoff teams.
That's a fact. That I agree with that. But once you saw that these teams wasn't hitting on nothing, then yeah. But what was your you had some any factor caps?
Yeah, so we did Tom Brady. Um, so I've been hearing the last few weeks that Kirk Cousins is a elite quarterback. That fact the cat, man. You already know how I feel about this.
Cap, Cap. He is a very decent quarterback. He isn't no elite quarterback, but yeah, he's straight.
What they say,
I don't think
stop the
you can win a Super
cat.
Bowl. I don't think
Stop
you
the
can win a Super
cat.
Bowl with him.
No, no. Kirk Cousins is not elite. He's still in that Dak Prescott, Derek Carr tier. These guys are going to consistently give you the same type of stats per year and just about the same wins. And it's going to be a hit or a miss. They're either going to lose you the game, with very not likely to win you the game. They need other aspects of their offense, whether it's Dalvin Cook rushing for a touchdown or the defense for Dallas making a stop in order for these guys, or in order for these teams to elevate their game. So
Mhm.
another one is Sean Payton to Houston. I've been seeing that.
Ah, I'll say this. I don't think it's Cap. I don't think it's Cap. I think he could end up in Houston. To be honest with you, I would not be surprised. I mean, it doesn't sound like he's opposed to going to a rebuilding situation. And on top of that, they're gonna have the number one overall pick. So then he's going to be able to implement his system into a young quarterback, and he's going to have his choice of C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young. I think that's probably going to be a good situation.
Shoot, that Bryce Young and Drew Brees. I mean,
Mhm.
they're right there. They're about the same height. He can develop Bryce, but I was saying this earlier. I was like, this runs into that situation that Houston was in before, where they're gonna have to give up too much of their organization as far as the day to day, as far as a GM and a coach. And Sean is just gonna have control of everything.
Yeah,
Do you want to give that up again? Do you want to get into that situation again?
maybe Sean Payton versus Bill O'Brien. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, who knows? I guess we'll have to wait and see. And then Lamar to Houston. I mean, Lamar to Atlanta, because that's been a big thing lately. I think we got the money to do it. I think we have the money to do it. I'm just the only my only issue to Lamar not coming to Atlanta is what kind of quarterback would the Ravens get in return to want to do that deal? Like, because I've also seen Lamar to the Raiders, so they can get Derek Carr, they can bring in Derek Carr, but you need weapons for Derek Carr to throw to because you're gonna have to change your whole system having Derek Carr.
Yeah. So, so what? My mic had went out when you had said it. So what was the fact again that Lamar's coming to Atlanta?
Lamar going to Atlanta.
Uh, I could say that's fact. Honestly, I don't. I just don't think that Raven situation is gonna be able to be even like reconcilable. To be honest with you, like I mean, Lamar's out here just posting cryptic tweets left and right. Like then you got Sammy Watkins over here saying, "Oh, if he had a contract, he would play," then you got other teammates over here saying, "Oh, nah, he's really injured." Like that locker room seems a mess, and then you got other players blaming Jim Harbaugh for not having them in the game to make plays. So I
JK.
just yeah, I don't see him going back there. I think it's a mess right now. And honestly, what pick are y'all right now?
I think we're eighth.
So I mean, I could see them saying like, okay, yeah, yeah, we'll give you the eighth pick. You give us Lamar,
I
and
mean, they could at eighth they could probably pick like Will Levy.
hey, I'd be happy for them to get Will Levis. Hey, have fun with that. We'll see what he becomes, but hey, or bring back Huntley.
Oh God.
Hey,
They definitely not gonna bring back be bringing back Huntley.
but the only reason I say Huntley is
Not as
because
a starter.
but maybe he does start because he has knowledge of the system, and you're gonna have to switch. They fired. I mean, Greg Roman, their OC, his contract is up. So if Lamar leaves, you're gonna have to change your whole system, or you're gonna have to bring somebody in that knows the system. Huntley would know the system.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
You got any more?
Nah, man, that's it,
I,
man.
I got the last thing of the night. Pick'ems. We're gonna start with the Chiefs and Jags. Who do you have?
I got the Chiefs, man. I got Andy Reid. We got mastermind versus mastermind right here, and I think Andy Reid. I think the Jags are hungry, but for what they did versus the Chargers, that's not going to happen against the Chiefs.
Um,
I think the Chiefs are on a mission at the moment. I think they have their eye on a prize. They have their eye on winning the championship. They felt like they should have beaten the Bengals last year, and they should have been in the Super Bowl versus the Rams. So I feel like the Chiefs are currently on a mission right now, and Mahomes is on a tear, 5,000 passing yards with Juju Smith-Schuster, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Still got the Kelsey, Travis Kelsey. Hope I don't know if they get Miko Harmon back this week, but McKinnon has scored, I think, the last 5 or 6 weeks, receiving touchdown every single game. Isaiah Pacheco, they're getting him involved. I think he scored 3 times in the last few weeks as well. And this team is on a roll. And then they're also getting Kadarius Tony implemented now. So he's making some plays. They also disrespect the team. Did you see them do the spin touchdown?
Yeah. Well, it got called back, but yeah, I saw it.
These guys are disrespectful. They out there just playing.
I saw that nonsense. I say this. I'm
And that D line isn't bad, man.
mm,
And Nick Bolton, you better stop playing with his name, man. He out here.
you know, I it's more so of a it's more of a what do you call it? I know the Chiefs probably might win, but
You just don't want to see the Chiefs. That's what it is.
no, 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 no,
Because you
no,
know
no,
you
no.
scared. I
No,
think I
no,
think
no,
you're
no,
just nervous.
no, no, no.
God
You know
forbid
what? You know
your
what? I'm gonna
Bengals
change my
make it.
pick. I'm gonna change my pick. I'm going for the Chiefs this weekend.
Yep.
I want to see that rematch. I want to show you that it don't matter when Burrow sees Mahomes, he owns him. So I was going to choose the Jags because I do believe my only main reason why I was going to choose the Jags is because Trevor Lawrence hasn't lost on a Saturday, and I feel like
Well, Tom Brady has never lost to Dallas. And Dallas has never won a away game. Yo, I swear, I had it in a bag that Dallas was gonna beat Tampa and play the 49ers. And for some odd reason, I turned on ESPN and they just swayed my whole opinion. I'm
mm,
listening to Ryan Clark, Dan Orlowski, and
mhm,
Rex Ryan, and they swayed my entire opinion to thinking that Brady was going to pull this out
I
after he's
never.
never lost to the Cowboys. The Cowboys have never won a away playoff game since the 1990s, and they're horrible on grass fields. And I'm just like, the the Bucks has got this, and I put my money on the Bucks, and I lost my money after
Why
my
would you?
pickums.
Why would you do?
After my pickums told me to just stay with the Cowboys, like I said.
Oh Jesus! Hey, I blame nobody but you. I'm not even gonna blame Darren Orlowski, Ryan Clark. I'm gonna blame you because we talked about Brady all year, and we seen what Brady was doing out here, and you still decided to go ahead and choose them. So I can't blame nobody else but you. But next game, I already know where you're leaning. You gave me a preview earlier. 49ers and Cowboys.
Oh, 49ers. They're going to dominate the Cowboys.
I say this. I don't know if it's gonna be a domination, but I do have the 49ers winning. It's just hard for me to see the 49ers losing, but I will say this. Brock Purdy at the beginning of that game with the Seahawks, he threw some passes that should have been intercepted. And I think if you do that to Dallas, they will get intercepted. And I believe Dallas might make you pay for it. So they're on. Like I said, every team that's favored should be on upset alert this week.
I see Dak throwing at least one pick. I see the run game for Dallas not working at all. They're going to stop that. They're going to shut down that run game all day.
I can
I
see that.
see I see on offense as far as for San Fran, I see Debo having a big day. I
What
think
about
this
Purdy?
I think this is a big Debo day. I think Purdy will play okay, but he's not going to look like he did the first game.
Honestly, he wasn't even that great in the first game.
I mean, a lot of those yards were like
His
run after
yak
catches.
yards.
Yeah,
Yes,
which
it
is
was
yak.
185 yak yards. Like he
Yeah,
only threw for like 147 yards or something like that.
and I see CMC still playing well in this game as well. So I see this offense running right back with Debo and CMC back to back.
Bengals, Bills.
You already know I'm going with the Bills. I think defensively they're going to make a big play.
Um, I think Josh Allen is going to cost them. I think Burrow and the Bengals are going to be pissed off that this game isn't in Cincinnati because the NFL basically gave the Bills basically like a, I'm gonna say they gave them the win, but they didn't give the Bengals an opportunity to host this game. And I think Burrow, Chase, Higgins, and Boyd are gonna have a big game. I think Allen's gonna throw at least 2 to 3 interceptions or 2 to 3 turnovers, and I think Bengals win. I am not gonna say a score because it never works out for me if I give a score. So I just say the Bengals win.
Yeah, put the score out there.
Nah, Eagles Giants.
You saw how I tried to bait you into that right there, man.
Nah, we good.
Eagles Giants. I think this is going to be a very, very close game. I can see this game being like 31-24.
Oh,
Eagles, Philly. I think Philly's going to take it. I think it's going to be a tough. It's going to be a very tough ball game for them. But I see Philly taking it.
I think Philly gets upset. But I really do. Them and the Bills, I believe they get upset this week for a fact. I'm just not too sold on the Eagles. Hey, Jalen Hurts, I don't know how healthy that shoulder is. He didn't look very well against those same Giants B team in week 18.
I don't see Jalen Hurts having a big passing day, but I see them running the ball because of that issue right there. I see them leaning more on the run this game than normal. Well, they're actually one of the best run offenses in the league. But I'm saying that I think they'll establish the game. Their offensive game is going to run through the rushing attack.
I could see that. I could, but
And playing defense.
I'm a lean towards the Giants. I believe that this is a divisional game. It's going to be tough. Giants know what the Eagles want to do, and I think they go into Philly where they haven't won in a long time, and they get this win.
Well, I guess we're going to have to wait and see. Man, oh man, Don, this was a good one, man.
Yes. I enjoyed my time.
Yes. This was definitely a good one. We definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hopefully soon we get Jimmy back so he can explain to us what happened with Brady. Definitely want to hear it.
Yeah, so he can tell us I need a level of consistency.
So he could tell us Brady's still a GOAT.
Oh, don't forget about a Big Bill out there, as he calls him.
Oh man, we love it, man. We love it. But now we appreciate y'all tuning in. Remember to like, share, subscribe, comment. Send us messages if you got any questions, you want us to go over any topics, definitely feel free to reach out. YouTube, Instagram, check us out. And you guys already know. Until next time, peace.
This that COMEUP. Stand back while I do me. I'm the King James of this era. Do my best to be 2-3. You see the metaphoric beat destroying MC. They had to wait his turn, sit and learn from the OGs, but slowly I had myself out like a slowly get take paper to make paper. So I'm speaking from this loose leaf. Damn. I ain't even gotta talk about it. They said you public in the basement, but your songs is private. Bring back the monster, the one that you keep locked in. Shit, I ain't gotta score the points. Look at John Stockton. I put my niggas on just so they can make a profit. But for now, I ain't get up and play that monster in the closet. Mon V hit 23. Rest in peace to every beat. Bring them leather bags and bring them white sheets. I'm all that in the bag of chips. Hit that nigga if he trip. Nigga run, you better not trip. Cause if you slip, I'm catching up. Niggas, y'all running too slow. And if you running too fast, I'm gonna pick up me some more. Cause y'all niggas been tripping. Yeah, y'all niggas been slipping. Y'all talk about cars and not the women. But I'm on a different tip, I'm on some different shit. I got some niggas back home depending on this shit. My niggas reppin' that gangrene shit. Boobin' Mars, my nigga Wax, my nigga Chuck, we in this bitch. Nigga hitting New York around the summertime. And if you ain't dropped, you done around the summertime. I parachute when I jump out the booth. That mean I'm high, the bar is up, elevate you dudes. I'm back at it, I'm back rapping, I'm back scrapping, I'm back down to bullshit. Y'all niggas drinking that malt liquor. Me and my niggas, we sip some rock. Y'all niggas jump, we jump too. We pull the gun out, you get popped. That's the way it go, that's the way it is. That's the way a nigga always live. That's the way I was taught. Growing up, running around, little kids, we on the block in the road, nigga. Running around with that gold, nigga. I'm talking about my bro.